Who's scruffy looking?
Okay, welcome back to the desert of the real. So this cat, Justin Bush, seems like a really solid dude. For whatever reason, he can remember like all the times that these class 3 grays have been taking him and shit and fucking with him through his life, and his stories are like pretty awesome.
Hey, Ugly just called. He wants his face back.
And so this is just a quick debrief on part of his MILABS account that he tells maybe future appearance on the tagged broadcast. So let me know what you think. Later. Yeah, you see this here? The Miami Mall x-rays. Fucking snakes coming out of their goddamn eyes. What the fuck?
Like why they were doing what they were doing.
I honestly couldn't even think about the reason why I was being hacked. The reason I thought it was the government is because of what happened later. And then once the government actually once people showed up, that's when I was like, oh, this is government people. Like, this is full on, these are military personnel. So yeah, I didn't know what to think. I was scared. I literally just didn't know what to do. I called the cops like the year before when I had an encounter, and the cop literally ran away. Like he got scared, and he was like, I don't know what's going on here, and I don't want to know. And he ran away. I had a new girlfriend. I had been with her for like a year or so. She didn't believe in UFOs, aliens, government conspiracy. Like, she didn't believe in any of this stuff. And I was having more encounters than I've ever had, more strange stuff than I've ever had in my life. I had gotten abducted. I was completely and totally traumatized. The other thing that happened was I reached out to the FBI. I was so traumatized. I was like, I'm just going to write a letter to the FBI, and I'm just going to tell them what happened in the last 2 weeks. And I think in the letter I wrote something like, I don't know how to deal with this. It's too much for me to deal with. I don't know what to do. And that's why I'm reaching out. And this is what I saw. So I wrote like, number 1, I saw this. Number 2, I saw this. Number 3, I saw this. So I had another encounter. It was like a normal, strange encounter. I heard something on the roof. I went outside with my girlfriend. I blacked out. I woke up inside. It was like a normal, weird encounter. But anyway, I stopped sleeping at night because so I'd stay up all night long because I just didn't feel safe. 2 days after that last encounter, I'm in bed. My girlfriend's asleep next to me. I'm watching television, and I hear somebody walking up the back door, which is our bedroom. The door goes right outside to a small, very small, it's like 3 steps and a little wooden kind of porch area. So I sit up immediately. I pause the television. We have a glass window and a glass door. When that glass door opened, it reflects light from the outside light inside the bedroom, and it goes around the top of the room. So I see that little diamond of light going around, and I'm like, somebody's opening the glass door. I don't have a weapon or anything. So I was scared that maybe I was going to get abducted again, but I thought it was going to be aliens because that's what I was used to. It was when I really saw like military intervention. I see this black thing come in through the door. So it's like a pencil, maybe a little bit skinnier than a pencil. It comes in, it's black, like a black wire, like maybe about a foot long. But it came in about a foot. It bent 90 degrees, about 6 inches, and then it rotated 90 degrees. And when it pointed straight at my face, which I'm, 4 feet away from it or something, all of a sudden it stopped. It shot straight out, and then it just ripped out like really fast. And then the person that was outside ran down the steps. They They yanked it out so fast it made a noise like friction. Zoop, and then they ran down the steps. And so I just started shaking my girlfriend. And I was like, somebody just came up to, they tried to break in the back door. They put a camera in the house. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, somebody just put a camera through the door into the bedroom. And she was like, you're insane. You're crazy. You've lost your mind. And I was like, no, you don't understand. She got up, stepped into her boots, right? And I was like, what are you doing? She was like, I'm going to prove it to you. There's no one out there. You're literally just losing your mind. And she grabbed her jacket off the back of the door and she swung it around. Please don't go outside. And she was like, yanked her arm away from me. She's like, you're losing your mind. She was like, you've gone crazy. And she just stepped right outside. She stepped outside. She walked down the steps. She had walked far enough away from the house that I couldn't see her out the window. Where we lived, we left the front door unlocked all the time. It's out in the middle of nowhere, so we never lock the doors. So there's the back door that goes outside. There's another bedroom door that I lock every night, and there's guns in there. So I'm like, I want to grab one. They may have came in the front door already because that front door is unlocked. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to navigate this. And I kept hoping, I'm like, maybe she'll come back soon. And about 45 minutes passed by. And I just had this, whatever that thing is, like before you get abducted, you're like, I'm going to get taken now. Like in your mind, there's this, maybe it's like a precognitive, or you might call it telepathic, or I don't know what you want to call it, intuition. And I was like, I have to go outside and I have to let them take me. They want me. I'm terrified. I don't know who they are. She's wearing yoga pants, a t-shirt, a pair of rubber boots, and a jacket. And it's like 13 degrees out. So I was in my pajamas. So I put on my jeans, my socks, my boots, put my jacket on, and then I stepped outside. And I slowly crept around the side of the house. As soon as I made my turn around the side of the house, maybe about 70 feet away was maybe a softball sized kind of bluish white light. It was hovering maybe 4 to 5 feet off the ground. It's just hovering there about 70 feet. So I stop immediately. I'm just watching it. It shoots pretty fast, about 100 feet or so, stop behind a cluster of trees that was probably about 40 feet away from me, right off to the side of the house. So it went behind those trees and then the light just turned off. Initial reaction was like, this is some sort of drone. So I immediately stepped back up against the house and put my hands up. I don't know why I did that. This thing shot over and I was like, oh, and so I'm standing there and all of a sudden I hear a noise and it's walking. Something is walking towards me. So it's coming out right where that thing disappeared behind that cluster of trees. There's a black silhouette coming towards me really slow, like one step at a time, slow. And so my next reaction was like, oh my God, it's a bear, right? Like the silhouette of it, I thought it was a black bear. And this thing is walking towards me really slowly. It's just outside the light from the back door, like feet outside of it, maybe 10 or so feet. Once it stepped into the light, I could tell immediately it was her. And not only was it her, but the reason her silhouette looked funny is because she was wearing that jacket, but she had her head slumped down like this. And she literally was staring. It was like she was staring at her feet and she was walking, but she was taking these really high-legged steps and then pointing her toe at the ground. And she wasn't swinging her arms. Like, when you normally walk, she had her arms pinned to her side and she was walking so funny. Now I realize that this is her, but she's not responding to me. So I just started screaming at her and she literally walked straight into me. Like you have to imagine when she was 2 feet away, I'm yelling her name. She's like, her head slumped and she literally bumped into me and she kicked her head back and her eyes, both of her eyes were rolled into the back of her head. They were like she was drugged. Like she straight up looked like eyes rolled back in her head. And I was trying to wake her up and I was like, we got to get the, I'm yelling at her. Like I'm literally saying all this stuff to her. I'm like, you disappear for an hour and I come outside and this light flew over here. And then I was like, you know, we got to get out of here. Right. And she is just kind of not responding to me at all. She's just kind of just going, okay, like kind of. And then all of a sudden from behind her, right from where she just walked out of, behind those same trees, the same trees that light went behind, the same trees she walked out of. All of a sudden you hear a radio click on and it's like, ksh, targets outside. Ksh. It's a male voice. It sounded American. She immediately snaps out of it, right? I mean, she just goes, oh my God, what was that? We got to find out what that was. And I'm like, no, we got to get out of here. Like, we got to run. She pushed me and ran past me. She ripped the bedroom door open that goes inside. She shines it down the road. And I'm like, what are you looking for? And she was like, I'm looking for the cop car. And I was like, there is no cop car. What are you talking about? And she was like, the man on the radio. And she was like, I thought there must be a cop car out here. So anyway, we walked around, we get to the door and I'm like, please, just, we got to go inside and lock the door, please. And she was like, why are you acting like this? And she was like, I want to smoke a cigarette, but I just gave up. Like, I don't. So I took out my cigarettes and I took 2 of them out and I lit both of them and I handed her one and I was like, whatever. And I heard a sound. It sounded like a hissing sound coming from that cluster of trees where that guy was. It just sounded like air, like air escaping. And then I literally I lost equilibrium and I heard these men and they're like, the one guy was like, grab her. And then she was like, hey, or something like that. And then these other 2 guys grabbed me. They grabbed me by my biceps. I felt like if I tried to walk, I would fall over. Like I could hear, I could smell, I could see kind of, but my vision was blurry, kind of equilibrium was blurry, like everything was. And these guys, I remember seeing their pants really well. I remember seeing their boots really well. They were wearing black pants, black boots. I saw the one guy looked like he had a gun, a pistol on his hip. Anyway, so I black out. When I come to, these 2 guys were still holding my biceps, but they were asking me questions. And every question they asked me, like every single one, was about the UFO I had encountered for like 48 hours. And they were saying stuff like, we know you encountered it. You know, you got to tell us what they look like. You know, how tall were they? What did they say to you? You know, did they give you anything? Did you take anything from them? You know, where did they take you? What did they want from you? At one point, they asked me if they had given me any orders, and I was like, what? Why would they give me any orders? And they were like, did they tell you to do anything? Did they give you instructions? Did they tell you to do anything? And I was like, I don't know how to answer that. Like, how did they give me any orders? Like, they almost treated me like I was like in league with them, like I was like their partner or something. Like I knew what they were doing. Like I don't know. I mean, I know some stuff, but it was the way they questioned me. At one point, the one guy said something like, and we showed you some photographs. Could you pick out the ones that you saw? Could you identify the species? And I remember I was like, yeah, you know, I could definitely do that. Then there was another point they asked me, and they kept asking the same questions like 3 times, like just slightly different. Sometimes they would ask it and then ask it slightly different, right? But sometimes they would ask it almost the exact same. But at one point they said, did they give you anything? Did you take anything? Or did you receive anything from them? And then they were like, did you find anything? Did you take anything? Were you given anything? And I said, yes. And that's something else I need to explain. I was answering them, even though I didn't want to. Like, they would ask me a question and I would give them an answer, even though I was like, I don't want to tell them anything. I don't know why I was answering these people. Like, I don't understand, but it was like I couldn't stop myself from giving them. It was like I couldn't stop myself from talking to them. But anyway, they asked me if I had received anything or had been given anything or taken anything, and I said yes. And even though I didn't want them to know that, and they were like, eventually the one guy was like, "Where's the device?" And he kept asking me. He's like, "Where's the device?"
Better buckle up, bonehead. You're going for a ride.
Tango neutralized. 2, 3, balls.